Varus must have expected to find Germania already pacified when he arrived at Haltern and met Arminius. Varus is tasked with turning Germania into a fully fledged Roman province. Arminius' assessment of the situation is invaluable. But a mere captain of the auxiliary cavalry would never tell his general what to do. Varus insists. A German knows how to deal with Germans. He knows how to bring them into the empire. The blood in my veins may be German, Arminius says. My head and my tongue are Roman. Then Arminius must act like a Roman, Varus says. And Arminius is given his first mission. The legions are about to set out for their summer camp. Arminius is to reconnoiter the route. To demonstrate their dominance, the Romans moved troops eastwards every summer. From their strongholds on the Rhine and the Lippe towards the river Weser, home to the Cherusci. Traveling through this uncharted wilderness is a daunting task. There are no roads of any kind. To transport their troops and keep them supplied, the Romans are forced to use the river Lippe. They've even developed a special boat for the purpose. It's a 30-meter flat-bottomed barge with a draft of only 40 centimeters. It can sail in shallow waters, carrying a load of 53 tons. With hundreds of these barges, Varus advances deep into Germania until the river is too narrow. The cargo is transferred to land. There's massive amounts of material. The legions travel with civilian support: blacksmiths, carpenters, tax collectors, many with their families. Then there are the merchants with wine and olives. The little luxuries from back home that make life bearable for Romans in the chilly, savage north. The auxilia, mounted Germanic mercenaries, are to scout and secure the route. Arminius is their commander. A total of 22,000 people stretching for 15 kilometers, forcing their way across the plain. From his new forward position, Varus decides to impose Roman law on the barbarians. A people not subdued in battle may be controlled by the strict application of justice. But is this really the right time? Historian Velleius Paterculus has his doubts. He writes, Varus gave the Germans orders as if they already lived in slavery. He demanded tributes as if they were subjects. The tax collectors become notorious for demanding that the exact amounts of the different commodities are paid. The rules apply to everyone, without exception or delay. But the Roman tax authorities are disappointed by what they can drum up in Germanic villages. This land barely provides a surplus. The Germanic tribes are subsistence farmers. When their limited produce is confiscated, their frustration at Roman rule turns to hatred. And Roman law just makes things worse. For one person to judge between two parties in a dispute goes deeply against the Germanic sense of justice. It has been the privilege of the old Germanic nobles to negotiate between themselves matters of justice. The worst transgression? Varus condemns natives to be crucified for theft. In the Germanic world, only the gods hold sway over the life and death of a free man. Theft, even murder, are atoned by paying a fine known as the Wehrgeld. But Varus ignores the sacred Germanic traditions.
The way Varus behaved in Germania was not so different from Roman policy elsewhere in the empire.
Varus brutally suppresses any sign of unrest. The ringleaders are executed, their villages burned. What does Arminius make of this? He remembers his people as proud, free warriors. On his return, he finds them powerless, impotent, and demoralized, oppressed by the very power he himself represents.